Hello guys, and what's going on? Today I'm going to be doing some LeadWerks and I'm going to show you how to make a simple teleporter method. So we're going to have two boxes as shown, but we're going to do it over on the other side of the board. And what happens is when you walk into this box it teleports you to the green one, and when you walk in this one it teleports you back to the grey one. Now I'm going to show you how to set this up by building it on the other half of the board as well. Right, so the first thing that you want to do is create a box, and it can be any box, just any size, and then you want to create another box just on the other side of the board. Right, so we're going to call this Telly 1, and we're going to call this one Telly 2. Now we're going to colour these different colours so that you can see which one's which and how to, like, whether you teleport to the other side or not. I'm not going to colour it blue because that's the colour of the floor. Right, okay, now we should have these two boxes. You want to next go to create miscellaneous pivot, and you're going to create it beside the boxes, and then you're going to bring it up to just on the floor height. Now you don't want it to be too close to the boxes, otherwise you'll just keep teleporting back and forward repeatedly, which is not what we want. Now you got to make sure that the ones beside the Telly 2 pivot is beside the Telly 2 box. So we're gonna make this one Telly 2 point, and then this one is going to be Telly 1 point. Right, so now this is when we get into the scripting part. So you're gonna go into your scripts, and then I'm just going to do it in functions. Now you'll probably only have 2 or 3 scripts in here, but these are so I set up some of these for the video for doing the first teleporting thing. Now you're going to create a new script and you're going to call it Telly 1, and then you're just going to go into that script. Now in here there's some things there's only one thing that we want, and then we can get rid of the rest. You want this collision one, so make sure you don't delete that. Now to start off, we're going to start by getting 2 variables, which are script.telly1, and this is going to be an entity. Then we're just going to call this Telly 1 point, and then the next one is script.telly2, and it's going to be same thing, an entity. Make sure you don't have a space there, and it's going to be Telly 2 point. Right, so that's just simple. Never mind about that. Right, so next part's when it starts to get more difficult. We are going to say if, and then we're going to declare that it's the entity. We're going to say if the entity get key value, and if it's key, we're going to get the key value of its name, and if its key value, if its name is player, then, and then this is what we're going to do in here. So make sure that if you've got a Telly 1 that you're going to be doing everything for Telly 2, so you're going to comment out this variable here. Now in here we're just going to call this T2. I'm just going to put a cap on it, you don't have to, is equal to self.telly2, and then get position. So we're getting the position of Telly 2, and then under here we're going to do entity double dot set position, and in here we're going to have T2. Now this is one of the scripts that we need. Now if you go back into here and go into your scene, on your telly block 1 you want to open up the script you've just created, so I've called it telly 1. Now telly point 2 will go in where it says telly 2 point, and then we go back to our scripts and we're going to copy this script and paste it, and then we are going to rename the script. I'm going to call it telly 2. Then we're going to open up this script. Right, so you want to comment out telly 1 and comment out telly 1 and comment out telly 2, and then you want to change everything where it says a 2 to a 1. That's how simple this is. Now this is just to make the next one work, and then you're going to go back into your scene and you're going to go to telly 2 and you're going to open up telly 2 and then put telly point 1 in there, and then we're going to see if this works. So we're going for the orange one, which is the box we created at the start of this tutorial, and we come out at the green one, and then we go back in the green one and we appear back at the orange one. Now all you have to do to make these look more like teleports and not just boxes is just build up the frame you want for them. It's like not too hard to do that, and then you can just hide this object if you don't want it to be visible. So that's the simplest way I've found to do teleporters, and the script isn't too complicated to do this with. I would recommend doing it this way because when you look back over it, it's only got a few lines of code and it's pretty easy to edit. So I'm not a pro at Lua. In fact, I just started learning it a couple of days ago, so my knowledge is very limited with it. But thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you in the next video.